aside from just their style, it just seems like they're different off the box. That's
Sure.
cool. That's cool to see Fox Peach. I'll have to look into that to see what that's like.
Yeah, and we're in game 1 right now. Peach did us a really interesting one. Willy going to be the green Peach, Ryobeat donning blue. Ryobeat just known for being like this overtly technical Peach too, so I'm wondering what kind of tricks we're gonna see out of them today.
Yeah.
Grab for WillyP, and yeah, like it's such an interesting positional game too, especially when you factor in float heights and like mid floats, everything like hyper floats, all the jazz. Like I don't know what actual heights are good specifically for the Ditto, but I mean right there we see Ryobeat going for some hyper floats, just maybe looking for a quick aerial nair off the side.
Yeah. And then just like because you hit them away and you have so much time to figure out like your turnip distances, it also changes up. Like you being able to use your turnips matters so much more because like they're probably spacing for certain distances and you can do the different like throw distances from the bottom and kind of space them out that way. So definitely a very interesting matchup.
Sure, and both of them probably at kill percent now with an up air, it looks like.
Yeah.
Just any type of stray hit, shield poke off of the down smash there, and it's hard to say like who's in advantage state right now. Like, is this like a positional advantage for Willy? I'm not really too sure because you can just kind of fall down with an aerial.
Right.
Of course, both characters interested in the trade there, which would probably kill either of them. But Willy taking the first stock here.
I imagine you want to be the person lower on the ground and have like the positional advantage in terms of like the heights and being lower.
Yeah,
and,
like
having
choosing your
access to
spot.
turnips, things like that. A little better, but you're totally right that Peach does have a lot that she could do from that particular distance that would be negative for a lot of people.
Sure. Dude, Ryobeat is so fast. What the
Yeah. WillyP is keeping up though.
Yeah.
This is very even.
Okay. Yeah, quick float into the up air. And, you know, small advantage to Ryobeat right now. I really don't know how, like, the ledge play works for either of them. Like, I'm wondering if it's just kind of like a wait and then return to neutral type thing. Oh, miscue?
Yeah. Oh no, the double miscue.
Huge miscue. Okay.
That's the second time we've seen some odd miscues like that on Battlefield today. Something like 3 sets. Bizarre. And it's back to even already. Like there's just so many traded hits.
Yeah, like the amount of APM that they're doing, like you would think that one person is very solidly in the lead, but
right. Because Peach is so good at counter hitting too, so you get to see a lot of that in this matchup. So I feel like a lot of this is doing an aerial and then just making it tempting enough for them to counter hit you, and then you end up punishing that somehow.
Sure. Float down, yep. And close right before the end for the for the slight frame optimization.
Yeah.
And the shield grab, okay. Yeah, it's so much like just outplaying in neutral for this matchup. And that's why I think people may not like it, because it is a lot of neutral. There isn't a ton of punish. Like that's probably one of the best punishes you'll get is just air to air type thing.
Right.
And you get like 30% off of it, but
yeah.
I mean, to me it's really cool.
No, it's definitely cool. I think you see a lot more of that in modern Melee too, just the way that matchups have progressed, that this is just a part of Melee now. Like you have to you have to enjoy this type of thing. It happens a decent amount now. And with all the Peach specific tech, it's actually very intricate. It's like surprisingly intricate.
I'm still waiting for the Twitter clip from Ryo. Oh, and he had a stitch. I actually had no idea he was holding that. He did a really good job at masking that.
Yeah, I guess they were doing the thing where you turned the other way, because I really didn't see the stitch till it was thrown. Can't believe that actually worked on. It worked on us. The oldest trick in the book.
Yeah. We got. I guess that's why neither of us are entering, right?
we would not be doing well in Peach Dittos, I'll tell you that.
Wow, big damage. Don't want to be jumping up into the down smash.
Man, that's actually so... It's even more, like, polarizing in a matchup like this, because they're getting, like, stray hits for 20-30%, and then suddenly
you
the
get
60%.
60.
Oh, man.
That probably feels super bad too, especially when you've just been grinding out the last 4 stocks. But
Yeah.
as we're talking about it, Ryobeat's going to take the first game, even with the SD practically at 0. It was rather low, I think, that he died.
Right.
Um, he's able to kind of tighten up the gameplay and figure out game one.
Hmm. Yeah. I think the whole pattern recognition and things like that are going to be way more apparent in a matchup like this. I wonder if we're going to just see a way more one-sided game from either of these players now that they felt each other out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting to see like all the crazy, like random Peach terms that only Peach players know about, like your Q drop, slapdash, random grabs into crazy hyper float kill sort of thing. But
Hyper
who
float
knows?
and sub float, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool Peach things going on, and it's kind of unfortunate too because I feel like not as much of it will come to fruition in a neutral dependent matchup, especially with a player like Ryobeat who's so popular for being just stupidly fast against like spacies or anything like that.
Right, right. Man,
I
I feel
guess we'll
like
just see double F smash instead.
that's a crucial part of this matchup. Actually. And always, man, the dash attack also is so important because they're spacing outside for like back airs and things of that nature. That was really unfortunate.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I see a Peach, I want to say, I think it was Mango practicing against Keizu years ago, but the only thing, it just rings in my head constantly now where he just says, like, just dodge the dash attack, just dodge the dash attack, and then we're fine, everything's fine, just don't get hit by the dash attack.
It's actually very true.
I think that's just for anyone.
If you're playing, especially as spacey, it's like, I mean, even if you're playing in Peach, the dash attack is just so good just because of the distance it forces you to space around.
Yeah, and it links into, like, everything. It's just, it's really just a huge tool for Peach, I think, especially in a spacey matchup, but like you were saying in general, just kind of like how even in Peach Dittos, they can find some cool damage off of it. It's at least like a combo extender for like an extra hit, maybe.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, you're seeing like some of the turnip play from Ryobeat where they throw it up and then they're anticipating, they're kind of like breaking up the stage. I learned that from a very, very famous turn down football video.
There it is. I was waiting for that.
Did you know that Peaches use turnips and they throw it up to break apart the stage?
Yeah, little known fact, turnip is a projectile in this game. Yeah, actually, the thing that Lod taught me through that video, though, was that the throw distance is actually different, which is really cool. So you can smash throw it, and if you smash throw it with your back to your opponent, it actually goes further than if you smash throw it if you're facing the opponent. And similar thing to like a upwards throw and turn up is like if you double jump throw or smash throw versus just like an A press, then the distance varies. So maybe it matters for Peach. I you know, the video I did it on was for Puff specifically because it is so positional dependent.
Yeah.
Just to find like a straight hit into like an up air kill, but it does matter.
Yeah, I think it matters like a decent amount in like these floatier matchups because especially like when they're both grounded, you can see sometimes one of them will get hit by a turnip and the other is not going to be able to get hit, and that's like a lot dependent on the different distances of turnips that you mentioned. So having that kind of knowledge, I think, makes this neutral really hard. This might be one of the harder neutrals in terms of dittos than some of the other ones, just because of how intricate like some of the neutral interactions can be.
And it is like an interesting mix-up too. Like just now we saw Ryobeat holding the turnip, and it looks like he's going to jockey for kind of like a double jump into... Oh, there's another stitch. Throw the turnip upwards, but then he just goes for like a sub-float up air type deal. And there's like mix-ups within the mix-ups there, right? Where someone can be like, okay, he's going to go for the turnip throw, so I'm going to drift into him, expecting like a dink of a hit, and then I get hit with just a absolute heater.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, for as much as they work hard to get the neutral wins that they get, you just don't get very much of a punish, so... Coming back in something like this is so difficult, it feels like.
It's very attrition-based matchup.
Yeah, and suddenly, like, you when you're on the flip end, when you have the lead, you can just play a much more safe kind of style or, you know, pick out those positions a little bit more, and then when you're on the other end, you just kind of have to push it a little bit, and that seems difficult in Peach Dittos.
Sure. Anyway, we spent like 2 minutes talking about turnips. The two of them are just kind of duking it out right now. So. Yeah, I do think it is interesting also, especially when you have to consider the Peach holding an item, because especially a player like Ryobeat, a lot of them go for like item drop, like Z drop type things, which again just kind of adds another layer to the direction that item can fall.
Right.
So there's just like a lot of interesting edge guards and setups that you might see not in any other matchup because Peach is just